My name is Koaile Monaheng. I'm from the Kingdom of Lesotho, based in Southern Africa. And I'm also the Greenpeace Africa Pan-African political strategist.
All right. Maybe you can tell us more about your thoughts on the Africa Climate Summit to start off this conversation, Koaile.
Thank you so much. So the Africa Climate Summit was the second time it was happening. The last one was in 2023, as the speaker in studio had alluded to. And yes, I mean, Greenpeace, we contributed to the People's Declaration. That was the African People's Just Transition and Climate Development Declaration that came out at the summit. And really our objectives this year was to ensure that climate movement, as well as international allies, do push for bold action on concrete commitments. We also played a strong role in the People Assembly and really engaged civil society, as well as we spoke on a few panels that really included financing renewables for a resilient future. And we drove home the importance of energy and just transition, and really talking about some recommendations around climate finance as well. This is also quite an interesting year, given the fragmented geopolitical context. So the Africa Climate Summit can't be more timely in terms of Africa really coming together. It's an important political moment for the continent to join together in the spirit of Ubuntu, climate diplomacy, and that's what we really saw at the climate summit. And our positions included the UN tax convention, which aimed to establish a fair and inclusive global tax system. Our campaign for making polluters pay, which really seeks to hold fossil fuel corporations and other major polluters accountable financially for the damage they've caused to people, planet, in relation to COP30. And the last one there that also came out in the summit, the Forest Solutions work, which aims to leverage global commitments for financing nature protection that are aligned with channeling finance directly to indigenous peoples and also local communities. And that was really what we went into the climate summit with.
All right, thank you very much for that. The one question that a lot of people do want to be answered, of course, I've asked Juliet the same question, but what exactly are we expecting Africa to gain from this year's COP30? What is it that you believe Africa will be taking home from this year's COP30?
So to go back to the point also about the summit, on what really came out strongly, this COP30 speaks to forest work. The Brazilian presidency has stated that they want to deliver strongly on forests. So for the Addis Ababa Declaration to capture the major issue of Africa's role, particularly the Congo Basin forest, in protecting continent from climate breakdown, is a very, very progressive and important piece, where Africa wants to commit to a people-centered approach to resilience that recognizes, again, the role of IPs and LCs as local stewards of the environment. The declaration also spoke very strongly on Africa's renewable energy potential, and that really inspired the global beacon for Africa in terms of being the continent that's not a key actor, but is also a global leader in the transition. And there was also some language that came out on the commitment to achieving 300 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity by 2030, which is very ambitious and commendable. That's what the continent is going into COP30 with.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I'd like to move over